sometime forgets, our session starts at 7:30. I don't know, the new president is coming and they said we are going to get rid of this timeline, time, change of time. Yeah, let us see what happens. Anyhow, we are on a journey to self inquiry. The title that I have given to this series in this new year. Yeah, previously also it was, but we are going little deeper and understand. Self inquiry. Now question is, why the self inquiry? I know myself, I live in stress, I live in anxiety, I constantly blame and complain. This is what I am. Where is the problem? Where is the problem? I get married and soulmate, and after a few days, few weeks, and years, I start blaming and complaining. That I know this is what I am. Where is the problem? Where is the problem? And then I die blaming and complaining. And because of continuous nature, you see what happens? You go and talk to someone, oh, that guy is crazy. I'm not going to meet this guy again. Done. What about you when you live continuously in your anxiety, anger, and blame and complain? Why don't you leave it? I'm answering the question of self inquiry. That is why the self inquiry is required. I get into anxiety and reaction. How many times? No, almost a couple of times every day or every week. Did I care that how can I get rid of all these challenges in my life? No, I don't have time. I have time to earn money. I have to manage my family and relationship. Oh, that is giving you the stress. We don't want to understand it. We don't want to understand it. And when you don't want to understand it, then we continue to suffer. We have to pay dividend after 50 or 60 years. Dividend in terms of health, in terms of physical health, mental health. I tolerated for 20 years and then I divorced. Did you ask the question to yourself? Is it the real self divorced or the false I divorced? And there begins the self inquiry. Are you getting it? So the concept of the real self and the false self started with the Eastern wisdom. Yeah, in Western world we talk of ego, but without ego we cannot do. We also say that. Then the ego, we say that it is a necessary evil. And then what ego means? A couple of thoughts. Thoughts with a perception. My honey is good. Thought with a perception, my honey is crazy. Both are ego. Why you are so serious? Understand it clearly. Chain of thoughts. You are meeting my expectations, so I have a so-called the positive ego. Positive ego, and my expectations are not met, then I have a negative ego. Have you heard there is a positive poison and there is a negative poison? Our masters are really the craziest people. They have delved so deeply into it. And that is why it is a 10,000 years old tradition. We have 3,000 texts and 3,000 masters. I am a humble teacher, humble seeker in this path. I have hardly read about 2 to 300 books. Can you think of those monks, who devoted their entire life? I have only read a couple of the books, and contemplate and reflect. So, did you understand? Put it into your head completely, 24/7. Self inquiry. Why self inquiry? Because I'm continuously thinking, speaking, and acting out of anxiety, duality, conflict. Did any day pass without it? Tell me. Naked fact. John says, no, don't talk about it. I am living a wonderful life. So no conflict at all. So, I didn't see your expression, that's why I think of it. They're the real journey. So, why I should do the self-inquiry? Non-seeker people, that's why the people don't come. They want to live in their comfort zone. They have already decided, they are already convinced, they already have a false sense of perception that you are a bad guy, and I have already labeled it, and that is my decision. From where that came into your head, why don't you change that? I don't think. So when I don't think, then I live with my ego. That guy is crazy. That includes your honey also, your relations also. Sooner or later. Why we need a self-inquiry? I'm just telling you why we need a self-inquiry. See the other side of it. You are in peace, calmness, love, wisdom. When? All the time. Where? In all the locations. With whom? With everyone. You don't need self-inquiry. And if not, then you need a self-inquiry. Make a choice yourself, We are open. Eastern wisdom is very open. It's a naked totally. It's a naked, you can say, the philosophy. My mind prompted me the word naked. I'll use that word in a different way. So another reason to understand that why the self-inquiry is required, that if you start asking the question that what we want in our life, peace, happiness, love and wisdom, when? All the time. In what location? All the locations. With whom? With everyone. Now, if someone makes me crazy, I should not be crazy. I should learn it. We are going deeper and deeper. Understand? Did you understand? There is a flood. We save ourselves. You don't say there is a flood, I will fight with it. Understanding is entire Eastern wisdom is just to understand how you perceive, how you think, how you speak, and how you act. And then when the perception is colored, ego takes the birth. When the perception is clear, there is a direct perception, clarity, without any expectations and attachment in your life. You will recognize that real self is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is why we have to do the self-inquiry. Then, we become philosophical. Is there possibility that I will be in peace and happiness? 100% for the human beings, not for the animals. But why you say that? Why the intellect is given to us? Day before yesterday, I was giving a lesson. I said, say tiger is there and tiger killed the deer, catches the prey, and then you become philosophical. Tiger, why you are violent? This is philosophical. This is impractical. And if you approach the tiger, why you are violent? I'll make you non-violent. Tiger says, let me eat you first and then I will think of something else. So in self-inquiry, our intellect, we have a free intellect to think, to change our behavior and attitude, to change our perception. And when we change our perception, we find we are, the masters said, we realize that we are the real self of the nature of permanent peace. What is the meaning of permanent peace? The same thing I answered you. Permanent peace. Where? All the time. Where? Everywhere. In what location? All the locations. With whom? With everyone. Honey, you want to divorce? You can take divorce. But I have already learned since birth, I was divorced with my mom. The moment my mom delivered me. I'm not interested in taking. You are interested, take it. I'm happy. Oh, you're happy. That's why, I thought that you have some relationship with someone else. No. It has nothing to do with it. Because you think so you do it. What about me? What about you? I still love you. So what happened? The one who is divorcing you is going to be crazy. Before, during, after marriage or divorce. For example, you can use it anywhere. Before, during, and after. Peace, when? Everywhere. With whom? With everyone. In what location? In all the locations. You recognize that real self. So when you recognize and realize, that is known as awakening and realization. Don't go too far. Don't start creating false perception about this self-inquiry. That is the journey, the highest journey in Eastern wisdom, without any rites and rituals. Yes, if there is a ritual, Eastern wisdom gives you the reason for it. Because we follow the ritual. What is that ritual? Now you see, Eastern wisdom says what rituals you follow and get crazy. No, doctor told me that I have a chronic anxiety. That is your ritual. Don't you have intellect? It is the same intellect which is saying I have a chronic anxiety. Use the same intellect. Not to fall into anxiety, not to fall into reaction, not to start expecting from others. You are happy. You think, recently, think of it, make a statement. Recently, last week, how many times you were into anxiety and reaction? We don't want to change. When we don't want to change, that is known as that I am living in ignorance, and that is why I am suffering. So, self inquiry is a profound practice of asking essential questions based on who am I? Now, I'm a billionaire. I'm husband, I'm wife. No, these are labels. Who am I? That who am I is the same at the time of the birth and also at the same time at the time of the death. It is the who am I? That is what we say. The real self is eternal, it is unchanging, it is a pure consciousness, it is of the nature of peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. So, self inquiry. So, I already answered a couple of questions that why we need a self inquiry, what is the need of it. But if you don't feel the need of it and you are attending this session, even after 50 years, you will remain the same. You will remain the same. Persons, what we say, our behavior, what we say, our attitude dies hard or our habits die hard. Something we say to this. So I become president, my habits will die hard. I will start asking everyone, find yourself. Don't fight with anyone. The beautiful Prime Minister of Netherlands, I will say, find yourself. You are not able to manage your Greenland, I will occupy. But that is too far. We follow the same thought pattern. We think in the same way, same attitude, same behavior, which is responsible for my anxiety, my reaction, my duality, my conflict in my life. If I know myself, who am I? Who can get me into anxiety, reaction, and problem? Who? I know myself. So the master answers, you should know yourself that you are made up of peace and there is no anxiety into that peace. You are made up of happiness. There is no anxiety into that happiness. We don't contemplate and reflect. We just follow as it is blindly. That follow blindly means ignorance. Why we are doing this self-inquiry? To remove that ignorance of what I am really and what I am now. That is why we have to do this self-inquiry. That we have to understand. So any ritual, any practice is for a reason. So we should find that reason and we should follow it. Why we should follow it? So that our mind gradually and progressively transform to reach to that state where I reflect that I am of the nature of the real self, of the peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Who will take this journey? I'm so busy, in my work. Busy because of, and in that busyness, you have anxiety, you have reaction, you have problems in relationship, and long list. I can bet you, if I ask you a question, can you list 20 problems in your life? You will list 100 problems. And if I ask you, can you list 5 good things in your life? Oh, nothing is good in my life. I can bet you. So by doing the self-inquiry, our masters teaches us how to move. Just reverse this. 100 questions, 100 things, good. Only 5 things, I'm working on it. I will realize myself. And I will get out it. Are you getting it? This is what is the journey of the self-inquiry. It's not. I don't want to use that if I say it's not easy. No, it's easy. Easy for the human being who have a common sense intellect. You use the common sense intellect, and it will work. It will work, it will change your entire life. You have heard big buzzwords in our country, coaching, executive coaching, transformative coaching, leadership coaching. One guy from he said super coaching something. He said, I will want to take your interview. He'll be frustrated when he listens to all this. So he thinks that you are not a right prospect. Yes, I'm not. I don't want to be a right prospect for your podcast. I'm happy with myself. Finished. What I'm getting, is I'm happy, relaxed, and calm. More or less, I have 10,000 followers, and one day I thought that Facebook deleted. I deleted everything. Not interested. So you have to take some daring steps. Why I said so? Adventurous steps. In your relations, if someone is reacting to you, you have to find out in yourself how you are responding to the reaction. How happiness in you, if you are of the nature of happiness, how that happiness is reacting or responding. Difference between the false I and the real I. The way you respond to the flood, I told you. You don't go and fight with the flood. Oh, let me take care of you. You are the craziest thing. You are crazy, you remain crazy. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't blame you. I don't complain you. So what you do, I love you only. So those who are non-seekers will definitely leave you. And those who have a common sense intellect, they will see that, he agrees to everything. There is a total acceptance. That is the meaning. Accept the world as it is. We go again philosophical. I'm accepting the world as it is. I'm married, was frustrated, and then I divorced. That is not the acceptance as it is. You are already suffering from stress, reaction, anger, anxiety. You are already suffering from loneliness. Don't be philosophical. Are you understanding? No philosophical. Eastern wisdom is very pragmatic, practical. Practical. So I have covered why, what is self-inquiry, why, how is the one part. So in a higher journey of Eastern wisdom, we say you listen and learn from a teacher. Then you have to repeat, contemplate and listen, repeat listening. Repeat listening, repeat listening, repeat listening. When you repeat listening, after that you ask questions, you raise doubt. And if you don't find the answer, ask the teacher. Then you reflect. Reflect those principles in your life, followed by the practice. Practice gives you an experience. You learn from your own experience. Teacher has to do nothing. Whether you remain crazy or you remain happy, that is your problem, Well, but it doesn't mean that we always inspire, we motivate. My master, for 26 years, always motivating and inspiring, but at the same time still living in the state of dispassion. After all, you have to undertake a journey. A couple went to my master and said that we have a problem. So first he called wife, and wife told 10 problems. The master said, can you tell me something about 5 good points in your husband? There is no good point in the husband. Oh, that's why you married. Okay, go outside. And he called the husband. Husband does the same thing. Master said, you both are crazy. I cannot solve your problem. Why I said so, why I narrated, I have to understand how my mind is functioning. How my mind at the time of the marriage, everything is goody-goody. After a few years, everything is reversed. Where it is happening? It is happening here. I have to change this. In American way, transformative coaching. Close your eyes. Transformative coaching. I'm happy with my own transformation. So eyes are closed and you transformative coaching. So eyes are closed, place, position, and posture. Close your eyes. You all are senior. Senior in the main sense that you all are mature. I don't want to use the word senior, otherwise, American words are crazy words. The moment you say senior, then everyone is a senior. You are much younger, 20, 30 years younger than me, so there is no problem. So eyes are closed. Place, position, and the posture, and then you be comfortable. Again, remember, why I have been repeating it. Repeat practice. But every time you repeat practice, today you are practicing with 5% awareness. You repeat it tomorrow, 10%, third day, 15%, 40%, 60%, 90%. You are there. That is what happens when we started learning driving. Use the same, but consciously. So being comfortable is, you are looking, what you're looking? You're looking at the neck joint, change the direction. Being comfortable is changing the direction of your mind. So you're looking at, what you're looking at the neck joint. You look inside the neck joint. What do you find? You find simply blank space, empty space. That empty space has to do with the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You have changed the direction. Consciously, I've been repeating it in these sessions. You have changed the direction of the mind. Simple way. Pragmatically, I say you are facing the main door of your house because you put the key, you want to enter into your house. You have already left the world, including your neighbors. You are moving inside. Can you check with that reference? You look at the shoulder joints, feel, moving inside, experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Done. Now these 3 steps, I should not spend more time so that I can add higher steps in these sessions. So that is why you have to repeat it to make sure when the moment I say being comfortable, you change the direction of the mind. And how? Oh, simple. You look at the entire body. When you look at the entire body, when you look at mentally, basically not even through the sense organs, it is the mind that is looking. The mind looks at the sweet or dessert, where saliva starts dripping, feeling, sensation. Can you look at the entire body? Yes, I feel the sensation. Can you look inside? Yes, I see the space. Do you experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness? Yes, you are not. If you are repeating every day, you might have reached to that state. And then being carefree. Carefree means that now you have your mind is moved inside. You look at the deeper layer of the mind, means that you are looking at the space inside your forehead. On that space, space is like a plate on which the thoughts are jumping. So what you have to see, that what content is lying on the plate is separate and different. Even in that plate, say for example, in a kitchen plate, you have dessert and you have other stuff. You still know they are separate from the plate. Can you know? Deeper layer of the mind, that is the space on which the thoughts are there, they are separate. Oh, they are separate. Now see what is the result. If you recognize they are separate, whether the crazy thought comes, good thought comes or bad thought comes, it hardly makes any difference. So you develop a spatial power in the intellect. Why? That is required in higher meditation. That much I would say. Okay, that is what you are saying. Yes, that is what I'm saying. Okay, then we had been doing purify and focus the mind. Just don't get carried away by a lot of information on the Google, because whatever I teach and coach based on the principles, based on the text by the teachers and my master's teaching. Nothing belongs to me. Nothing is mine. So when we are doing any change in the breathing, that breathing has 2 purposes. One is to purify the mind. Other is to get the remarkable natural focus of the mind. Why? We need a remarkable focus to find the real self. Oh, is that so? So look inside the forehead and you start breathing quick and short breath into the rib quiz. Quick and short breath into the rib cage. Why I use the word rib cage means the rib cage is expanding and contracting. Quick and short breath, then you consciously understand that every time you inhale, there is an expansion of the ribs and there is a contraction of the ribs. Oh, that is what you are saying, yes. But why I say there should be an expansion and contraction of the ribs, your mind remains associated with the breath. Your mind will continue to do the practice consciously. That is very important. Can anyone do it? Especially in our session, everyone can do it. But for others, there is a disclaimer. You all can do it. Everyone can do it. Continue. Quick and short breath. We are going to do it for 2 minutes in the beginning. And you see what happens today. Now stop this. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath now. Pay attention to the flow of the breath and feel the sensation of the breath. Why I said so? So that you can find out there is a natural focus of the mind on the natural flow of the breath. Normally we say you are doing a mindfulness practice, focus on the breath. No, don't focus. Just be aware. Natural flow of the breath. In that natural flow of the breath, you recognize the breath flows on its own. You are conscious of it. There is no change. And in that flow of the breath, you also experience the calmness, you experience the stillness, or I would say you experience the relaxation. From where it comes? It comes from within. Oh, and it is independent of anything, person, relations outside. Oh, yes, I can feel that. If that is so, does it motivate you to do the self-inquiry? If it is possible to have the calmness and the relaxation which is independent of anything outside by such a simple tool, but it doesn't motivate us. I have to manage my anxiety, I have a lot of challenges throughout the week. That's why I skipped all the practice. Skip everything. It will not work. So let us look again, the focus inside the forehead again, and start breathing quick and short breath again. This time again we are doing it for 2 minutes. Continue. Expansion and contraction of the breath. Expansion and contraction of the rib cage, and then we will return to the flow of the breath. even if you take these so-called these steps deeply with a greater and clear understanding, only for any meditation we hardly need two or three, or maximum two or three, four steps. And at the last, in the last phase, even one step is necessary. Continue. You're continuing. Continue. Now stop it. Go to the flow of the breath. No change in the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You feel the sensation of the breath incoming, sensation, and outgoing breath, sensation, and see, is there a natural focus of the mind on the breath? Means what? The mind flows with the breath. Mind merges with the movement of the breath. And the moment there is a merging, you are already absorbed deeper within. No thought can disturb you. That's a deeper aspect. Okay, that is a deeper aspect. Because we want to maintain that awareness, so what we do, we move to the next step in a simple way. So it leads to expansion of the mind. You know, we use the word extension of the eyes to see the virus and bacteria. And which one is the extension? Microscope. In the lab, to see the stars, telescope. That is an extension. Here we are talking of expansion of the mind. So what you do in the expansion of the mind? Simple. When the breath goes in or out, every time you drop Om Shanti. What it means, Om is the real self. Symbolic. You can use any symbol, but it's better to use because it's a traditional. It has nothing to do with the ritual, but ritual with the reasoning. Om Shanti, breath goes in. Om Shanti, breath comes out. Shanti means peace. Another master says beautifully, he says that just you think, just you reflect. Reflect is also thinking that I am peace. I am the peace. It is not I am in peace. But this will not work the moment you say I am the peace you perceive the space inside and outside. Why? So our master says the peace is like the space. Oh, just see that. Can you endure and continue doing it every day? And the last step you spend maybe another 15 minutes or so. And if you do it every day, you will see the result in a week. You are aware what you are doing. There is a natural awareness and attention to the flow of the breath, and every time the breath is in or out, you are dropping Om Shanti, meaning I am the peace, and the breath is taking you to the infinite space inside. Infinite space. So, what is going to happen? You will lose, or I will say, that's a better word, is that you will experience a sense of bodilessness. Why? Because everywhere there is a space. But why it happened? It expanded your mind. You made your mind very subtle. Why we need that? To recognize and to purify the mind, and to recognize and realize the real self. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Now you can think of it every time I say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. It's a ritual, but give it a reason. So the ritual becomes a conscious practice. Om is the real self. Shanti 3 times is the peace. Peace for the known world, 1. Peace for the unknown world, I have to explore. And peace within me, it is my real nature. That is why we do the 3 times peace. So now you do it consciously. When I say first Shanti, second Shanti, 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 Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it in your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences, bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences. You did the right thing, Mead. You started doing while sitting. So, how are you, Mead?
I feel very peaceful now,
Very good.
and I feel that I am more appreciative of the process,
Yes,
how it moves through me.
yes.
Thank you.
Continue. Repeat this practice every day for as long as it is possible. No, I'll complete it later. How are you, Sophie?
I'm very peaceful, Girish. Thank you. I know that at some point I didn't hear the instruction, but I was not asleep.
Good.
And I have a question. So if you want to check where your mind goes, right, every day, so which categories should you take?
Mind is uncontrolled. It is untrained mind, so it can pick up any thoughts. So whatever the thought it picks up, become aware, and majority of the time it picks up the negative thought. When we become more conscious, I'm in peace, who cares? Lying down, taking a cup of tea, who cares? So majority of the thoughts, when it is negative, when it is reactive, when it is possessive, then only our mind makes me more aware. So you are already getting those thoughts. So first you list those thoughts and then reflect on it. Mind, why you have this thought.
Thank you.
So if you don't do it, the mind becomes the worst master. How? The mind has picked up the thought, this beer guy is crazy. First time, second time, third time, couple of weeks. I'm not attending the session. Why? Because this guy is crazy. Because you did not reflect on it. You did not analyze it. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish, I'm fine. There was a lot to take in there. I think I realized that I have to become more conscious or something.
Oh, so you were attending the session unconsciously? No. Yes, yes, he is raised the right point that and how to understand all the principles clearly. Repeat listening. Simple answer. So when I'm repeat listening, the mind raises its awareness, and after a few weeks, then you continue to listen. I would say more consciously. Simple. How are you, Anne?
I feel fine, yeah. I had a good meditation. I felt it.
Very good.
Went
Very good. That's really good. How are you, Charlie?
Hi. I found the breathing very helpful. I didn't realize until I opened my eyes, but I think I've been breathing quite shallowly, and that was really super helpful. I felt more in my body for sure. And then I was kind of chuckling to myself. I mean, it came out of nowhere, but you were talking about, oh, I don't know, peace is our true nature. And I'm like, oh, cool. Peace is my superpower.
Yes, yes, yes,
I like that. I was like, oh, I've got a superpower.
yes. Intellect understands this, but the mind is not ready to accept because it has lot of doubt. One, because it lives in the comfort zone of its impulsiveness, its desire, its lot of expectations. So intellect says peace is your essential nature. mind looks at it and then mind goes down. Oh, I already have lot of millions of impressions. I know what the piece is, and forgets it. That is the
Right.
meaning that I have to be more conscious of the principles rather than my. That is all for today. We will meet again. Thank you.
Thank you.